Welcome to the Deep Dive. So our mission today is pretty swift, pretty strategic. We're analyzing this really effective blueprint for mastering your morning. And the hook. It's built on just a 5-minute commitment.
Yeah, just 5 minutes.
Which, in today's attention economy, that feels like a huge win.
Yeah.
It's not just finding time, it's like strategic leverage, a really high return on a tiny investment.
Exactly. And the reason it can work, the reason this specific blueprint is effective is because it's basically all rooted in behavioral science. We all know motivation is, frankly, unreliable first thing in the morning.
Right, the alarm goes off and poof.
Pretty much. So this system, it cleverly minimizes how much you actually need that motivation.
Okay, so let's maybe unpack this using that framework we often talk about, the FOG behavior model. BMOP, behavior equals motivation, ability, and a prompt.
Spot on. And since motivation, the M is the shaky part, especially mornings, this whole 5-minute thing goes all in on maximizing A, ability, and P, the prompt.
Making it super easy.
Ridiculously easy. That's the ability part. 5 minutes is about as small and doable as it gets. And then ensuring there's a solid prompt, a trigger, to kick things off.
And that ability piece, it's also framed as these micro upgrades, right? Things you weave into routines you already have so you're not starting cold.
Precisely. You need that anchor habit, something solid, non-negotiable that you do anyway. That's your prompt, your cue.
What did the source suggest?
Oh, things like, after I finish my first cup of coffee, or maybe after I brush my teeth. Just some small existing action becomes the launch sequence for this new 5-minute habit.
Okay, makes sense. So the structure, action one is the physiological reset. And the sources seem quite strict. The first 60 seconds have got to be purely physical.
No thinking it.
And it specifies this 4-2-6 controlled breathing technique.
And the science behind that specific ratio, the 4-2-6, is actually fascinating. It's that longer 6-second exhale that's the real key.
Why? What does that do?
Well, it's like a direct hack for your nervous system. It activates the vagus nerve. Think of the vagus nerve as the main highway for your parasympathetic nervous system, your body's natural braking system.
Ah, okay. So the 4-2-6 breathing literally shifts your brain waves away from that high alert beta state.
Exactly, into the calmer alpha waves. It's a genuine neurological reset before your brain even starts tackling the day's stress or the to-do list.
And what does that feel like for someone doing it?
It's a calming effect, but there's data too. The sources mention this 1 minute of breathing can actually lower your baseline cortisol, that main stress hormone, by potentially up to 20%.
20%
Yeah.
in just 1 minute.
Yeah, and that physical feeling, that physiological benefit, even if it's subtle at first, acts as a kind of subconscious reward.
Right.
It helps strengthen the loop for the next day, which actually weaves motivation back in, but organically, not forced.
Okay, so physiology first.
Yeah.
Then you shift gears to the cognitive upgrade. The first mental bit is called gratitude by subtraction, which sounds different.
It is different. You're not just, listing things you're thankful for. The instruction is to actively imagine your life without some of the good things you usually take for granted.
Okay, but hold on. If I'm maybe already feeling a bit stressed or anxious, isn't imagining life without, say, my job or hot water going to make me more anxious in those first 5 minutes?
That's a really fair question. It's a potential pitfall, sure. The justification offered is that this subtraction method fights complacency. It forces a deeper, more visceral appreciation.
So instead of just saying thanks for my car, you imagine the hassle of your commute without it.
Exactly. It aims to transform a sort of superficial thankfulness into something more durable, more felt. It's a deliberate technique to shift your emotional baseline upwards.
Got it. And then that leads into the last cognitive piece, visualization.
Right. But crucially, it's framed as cognitive rehearsal, not just daydreaming or wishful thinking.
Okay, what's the difference there?
Cognitive rehearsal means you're mentally walking through, say, your top 1 or 2 priorities for the day. You visualize yourself navigating potential friction points or challenges smoothly.
Ah, so you're not just picturing the win. You're rehearsing how you'll handle that tricky email or maybe how you'll respond if that meeting gets tense.
Precisely. It reduces the ambiguity and mental friction when the actual event happens because, in a way, your brain feels like it's already navigated it once. Less hesitation, more preparedness.
Okay, so you do the breathing, the gratitude by subtraction, the visualization. 5 minutes are up. Then what?
Then comes arguably the most critical step for making the habit stick. The celebration loop.
Celebration.
Yeah. You must immediately acknowledge to yourself that you did it. You completed the routine.
They actually suggest a specific phrase, don't they? Something like, Yes, I kept my promise to myself.
That's the one. Or something similar that resonates. That immediate internal self-acknowledgement, that pat on the back, triggers a little release of dopamine.
The reward chemical.
Exactly. And that dopamine hit reinforces the neural pathway associated with the routine, making it more automatic, more likely to happen again tomorrow with even less conscious effort. It becomes self-reinforcing.
And thinking about reinforcement, the source material itself is pretty clever in how it uses language, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
We saw that blend, right? The scientific explanations, the logos like citing the cortisol reduction numbers,
The 20%.
mixed with the emotional angle, the pathos, like that feeling of success from the celebration loop. It all works together to build the credibility, the ethos.
Definitely. The celebration loop itself is a perfect example of using pathos effectively. It engineers a positive emotional endpoint to cement the logical, science-backed steps you just took. You feel informed and successful.
So wrapping this up for you, the listener, what this 5-minute plan really offers is not about finding some magical burst of morning motivation. That stuff fakes.
Right.
This is about installing a system, intentional, repeatable discipline that builds momentum.
And thinking bigger picture, the source material even hints at scaling this. Using that same 5-minute constraint for other things, maybe like a 5 minutes to de-stress break at lunch or a 5 minutes to end your day right routine.
Interesting, using the same structure.
Potentially, yeah. Maybe incorporating reflection questions in the evening version to help set the anchors for the next morning. So it makes you wonder, maybe a final thought for you listening, what small existing routine in your day right now could you anchor a new 5-minute investment to? Where could you build that first bit of momentum?